Okay, this is the biggest change I've probably ever seen since FIFA 18-17 to Foot Champions. They're reducing the number of games you play to 15. There's a point-based system, better rewards, untradeable icons every single week, almost like the FIFA 18 monthly rewards. We'll get onto that in a second. They're actually making playoffs harder, and they're increasing skill levels, but they're also decreasing skill levels as well for certain game modes. This is actually one of the best things I've actually heard coming in from Ultimate Team, and you might think it's bad, but trust me, it's good. Now I'll explain to you why. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to go through this quickly. I'm going to go back into certain detail on certain things. The companion app is coming out on the 20th, and the web app is starting on the 19th. Okay, so a day before, as opposed to a few days before, as you know, historically speaking. People who are joining us from FC24 will get something a little extra, so maybe there'll be some loyalty pack, something like that. Early access, as usual, will come out on the 20th, 5 p.m. British summertime. Players like myself and other creators will get the game probably 24 hours before that, or maybe sometimes 48 hours if you are lucky. It depends. They call the shots on that when they want that to come out. And you can play up to 10 hours on EA Play Trial as usual. And of course, a limited amount from the 20th on the EA Play Pro, PC only, a limited access. Then worldwide launch on the 27th. Okay, so now Rush. Now, I'm just going to briefly skim over this. We'll come back to this because I know people want to go into the main nitty gritty. But basically what they've done is they just together they made seasons. So if you earn for the season pass and stuff like that, you can earn the rewards in different game modes. So if you play pro clubs, you don't have to go then into Ultimate Team and play squad battles just to get the rewards. And the Season 1 Total Rush and all that stuff, we'll come back to that in a second. They have some new cards. We'll kind of come back to all this because the most important thing I'm here for, and I'm pretty sure you're here for, is mode and reward changes. Now, so there's four themes. There's unique mode identities, play at your level, reward elite play, which is probably should have been there like 2 or 3 years ago. I'll explain to you why. They really messed up last 2 years, like no relegation, and connected rewards. Okay, so champions. Now we're going to come back to all this. Champions. In FC25, we're positioning champions as the pinnacle of high-stakes competitive matchups. We want the rewards in, and accessibility in champs to reflect that. Now, previously, contrary to belief, champs has been the casual game mode. What I would say for a top-tier player, Division 10 to Elite Division was a joke. Elite Division is where you're reversing players, who are passing the ball from side to side to stay in Elite Division when they weren't really Elite Division players, and Elite Plus was the real competitive edge. Champs was the more casual game mode. I would go in Champs to play casually as opposed to Elite Division Plus rivals, which was high SR, was a bit of it, was really boring and probably very hard if anything. But they've changed it now. So Champs also is going to be difficult. Now what they've done is last year we made the Champs too accessible, particularly to lower skill players. As a result, many players went on extended losing streaks and Champs rewards didn't reach their potential. It's true, a lot of people did. A lot of people that came in and wanted coaching, a lot of people that came in new to the game, they got into Champs and they struggled. But rewards were actually pretty good for Division 5 play or rank 5 players. So if you could reach rank 5, it was actually pretty decent. Now, what they've done is they're changing playoffs now. So they're making Champs more challenging. As a gateway into Futchamps final, we're looking to reduce the role the playoffs play each week. In FC25, we're lowering the games to qualify from 3 out of 5 wins. So out of 5 games, you have to win 3 of them, down from what you need existingly, which is you only need 4 out of 10 wins. Now, this is doing 2 things. Number 1, Futchamps is going to be sweatier. But last year, rank 1, to get it, to be honest, was a bit of a joke. This year, it's going to be much harder because of the pool. It's kind of going back to the old system. I'm happy for it because they're also increasing rewards of rank 1. So rank 1 are actually getting rewarded. I'm all for this. The only thing I'm not for is, for example, 3 out of 5 wins. Now, 4 out of 10, okay, I agree is a bit too much. I think 3 out of 5, maybe they should have done 3 out of 6. I think 6 games, you have to win half of them. I think that is a good one, to be honest. 4 out of 10 was a bit easy. It's a big jump. If you're like on a fringe Division 5, Division 4, and you barely got 4, 5, 6 wins, you're really going to struggle this year. Make sure you check the tutorials out now because get prepared when the game comes out. What they want to do for a higher skilled player, it will make the process of qualifying for finals much faster, thankfully. For players of lower skill level, it will make playoffs a better reflection of your finals experience, ensuring that you only play champs once you're competitive. Now, this is actually quite good, but this was also bad because it kind of gave players a taste. Because to be honest, let's say in an ideal world, no one watches my tutorials, right? When people are watching the game, Like they see someone in Division 5 running out with a centre back, they think, or Division 7, they think they need to do the same thing. The good thing with playing a better player is that you understand, okay, what does a better player do, and you know how to change that in your system. So maybe could be better for me actually. More people watch my videos, but interesting. We'll come back to this anyway. To facilitate the above, we're making the first time playoff qualification more challenging versus FC24. For example, for players in lower divisions, playoff qualification will feel more like a milestone, whereas players in high division will constantly be able to jump into playoffs each week. In addition, with playoffs being hard to compare to last year, we have 10 additional attempts in a season to enter playoffs, bringing the total entries to 18. So I believe a season is, if I'm not mistaken, 8 to 10 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So technically you'll have 2 attempts, I would say, on average per week to qualify for Foot Champions, which I think it's a good number. I think that's good that they've balanced it out like that. I think how are they making it a major milestone? Like when can I play playoffs every single week? The key thing to take away here is your first playoff game, things, don't rush into those. Make sure you got a good team first, sort yourself out, and then go into playoffs. Because I can imagine everyone just rushing into playoffs. For some players like a popular arena, yes, I agree. I used to use playoffs for testing a lot of my gameplay out. Nowadays, with just how busy I am and growing more and more year on year, for me, champs and playoffs are basically just like testing things out, analyzing stuff. Of course, with the level I am, it's still a fairly easy game, but it's enough for me to test the game out without playing in elite division where people are lobbing the ball from side to side. I'm lucky if I touch the ball for 10 minutes if I'm trying to test something out. But this will be interesting. So now, finals. This is where the big thing is, okay? The change to playoffs means the average skill of Foot Champs finals will increase year on year. Thank the Lord. Thank you. Thank you. That needed to be changed, okay? Especially on the high end. There's a lot of people that were getting rank 1 that were not... last year was the first year in many, many years where a lot of people, for example, they would join the FC school, and there was one of 2 things. Either be elite player because they were in elite division because of no relegation, but they will see 14 and 13 out of 20 in weekend league, or they would be, for example, an average player in rivals, but in weekend league they'll be a good player. So the balance was a bit of... It depends. Some people were really good at a sprint, managing their emotions, because champs is really more about managing your emotions, and it's more of a marathon as opposed to a sprint. So this is good. They're increasing it year on year, because rank 1, to be honest, is a bit too easy to get. Almost everyone was getting rank 1. Even like Division 2 players, in my opinion, were getting rank 1 of actual Division 2 standards. We're looking to better differentiate the type of rewards you see in champs. As an example, these are the kind of rewards you expect. Below are the season 1 rewards, so I'm presuming they might change year on season per season, for those that achieve rank 1. Now this is insane. 200k coins, a tradable 85 times 10, 84 times 10, an untradable base icon, going back to the FIFA 18 roots of an icon every single month for top 100, but now they made it more accessible. Rank 1, untradable, so it doesn't affect the market, and it's a base icon. So you know what? That is one of the best things that they probably have done to rank 1 rewards. It's going to make it really sweaty, but I think deservedly so, because ranked games, technically champs games don't get harder. It kind of just depends on matchmaking. I can expect there's going to be a lot of dodging and matchmaking, stuff like that. I suspect people are going to be like, they're going to wait 10 seconds before you go into the next game to know if you're a good player and stuff like that. I can imagine it's going to be happening now. An 89 times 2, an 8 times 2, and 3 untradable team of the week's tradable pack. Now, this is fantastic, okay? This is what it should have been. I'm very happy with rank 1 rewards, and I'm very happy how they've changed the system. But they've also done it as well. In addition to providing our best performing players with more ways to show off their in-game achievement, don't do this, by the way. One of the ways we'll be able to do this is seasonally exclusively through club customization options that will only be available to players who finish the highest finals ranks. In season 1, it'll be club nickname Invincibles, rank 1 exclusive, celebration, flex. Now, do not put this on, okay? Because when you go into a game, someone's going to see it and they're going to concede a goal and then they're going to leave. So don't put your club nickname to Invincibles, because someone's going to rush through their champs, they're going to see that name and they're going to leave. Turn that off. Just trust me, leave it off. And a flex celebration, for example, maybe you can do it in your 2-0 head, but that's pretty much it. But you can see, for example, here we got a bit of a video. and that's a new flex celebration. But don't do that when you're drawing, because there's a big chance your opponent might leave the game. No, guys, top tip. Similar to playoffs, we'll reduce the number of matches by 5. That means in total, there's going to be 15 Foot Champions games only. So if you watch that video on the Patreon series about Futchamps, I need to actually remake that video, actually, it appears. But anyway, we'll be simplifying the point system as well to help you keep better track. This is kind of in line with Rivals, and Rivals have gone from wins. They've gone to, because now in Rivals you get points for draws. So each win will give you 1 point. So in Foot Champions, there's only 1 point that you can win, and that is basically via simply just playing the game, winning the game, and you'll get 1 point. If you lose, there's no points, and if there's a draw, of course, it goes to extra time. Or it goes to penalties after if you don't have a conclusion after extra time. So rank 1 will require 15 out of 15. Okay, rank 2 would be 13 wins. That's not too bad. I was expecting 14. It depends what the rewards are. I'm presuming you're not going to be getting... Maybe this is 150. Maybe you get this. Maybe you don't. Maybe you get 1 of these. Maybe you get 2 of these. Okay, you know what? Without the icons, I think rank 2 is good. Rank 3 is only 11 wins. Now, rank 3, I think, would be a very popular choice because 11 wins, 4 losses. It's not that bad. You know, it's really not that bad. Of course, a level will be much higher. Rank 5, which was previously, is 9 wins. Okay, so you only need 2 wins to get the earliest rank. Okay, this would be very interesting. I think the average this year will probably be about 6 to 7 wins, just because of how sweaty champs are going to be. I'm happy they've reduced the number of games and they made it more difficult. I think this is a good, appropriate balance. You know, right now you might be saying no, but trust me, this is a good, appropriate balance. The only thing I fear is there's no casual game modes, because I'm going to be honest, if you play Elite Division right now, especially now how they've introduced relegation back in Division 1 and Division 2, at least for someone like me, if I wanted to play the game casually in Elite Division, there was a lot of players that weren't Elite Division players, but they were lob the ball from side to side. So it wasn't necessarily a casual game. Although they weren't a high level, it was quite necessary. To be honest, it was quite boring. The only thing I fear is like someone like myself, is then playoffs going to be the only game mode where I can just chill? So I might have to go back to having like multiple different accounts. Now I only play I have like an account every single division to test out what's going on in those divisions. But I only played really across 2 accounts. But it looks like now I might have to go across 5 accounts and multiple Foot Champions to test gameplay out. But that's something else. As you can see in the champ section, division rivals will play a key role in helping you qualify. Back in August, Aslan covered a number of changes. And I've already explained this, for example. So basically, Division 10 to Division 8, there's going to be reduced number of checkpoints. And then Division 2 and Division 1, there's no checkpoints and there's relegation, thankfully. This no relegation thing they did was an absolute terrible idea. Thankfully, they've changed. I mean, we've been talking about this for months and years. In S25, we increased the number of wins required from weekly rewards from 3 to 5 and 7 to 15. Okay, so I don't mind that because there's less Foot Champions games and then they're balancing out with rivals. Okay. So also now it's not about how many wins, it's about how many points you can get. So they basically made that seamless across all. So now 15 wins and champs will be 15 points, hence why rank 1. And for example, 15 points in division rivals will be 45 points because you're awarded 3 points for every win. Then you can see some substantial increase in the value of rewards and rivals. You can see weekly rewards 75k, 2 tradable 85s player picks, and tradable 75 gold rare players pack. Interesting. Tradable 50 gold rare players pack, tradable mega, and 2 untradable 83s. Now, that's actually very, very good. I'm actually very happy with that. Don't get me wrong, it's probably going to be pretty sweaty, but I'm actually very happy with that. We're going to streamline rivals rewards into one option. So before you could choose like untradable, just, you know, coins heavy. They're just basically going to give one reward out. So everyone has to pick the same reward. And it's going to be just basically a mix between coins, tradable and untradable. So but because they've improved rewards, even if you get the lesser rewards, I suppose you can say, it's actually not too bad. And there's actually a good balance because I'm thinking about this now. They've upped weekly wins from 3 to 5. So I think that's still a good number, considering most people are going to be in Division 10 to Division 8. There's going to be checkpoints, so Division 10 to Division 8 would be casual. So if you're watching this as a fellow content creator, and let's say you're doing play reviews, I suspect probably staying in those divisions would be the best. Let's be realistic. You cannot do a play review, for example, in Elite Division. It's like impossible, unless you play a champs run with it. But doing like a review in Elite Division is, you can't really test a player out. You can maybe use that play for 10 minutes anyway. Squad battles. So not that I play it, but they'll be reducing the amount that your games count to your weekly reward from 32 to 14. So in previous years, you had the ability to complete. So just like previous years, you have the ability to make progress in objectives and evolutions. After 14 matches, it won't count to your rank. Now, this is the big thing that I like. Okay, so they made changes to live foot friendly. So we know Rush's potential for objectives. NFC 24, basically, people didn't really want to play live friendlies because the rank in division rivals basically altered your rank in should I say skill-based matchmaking and live friendlies, hidden skill-based matchmaking. So as a result, people used to self-relegate and stuff like that. So now we're making changes to matchmaking based on form. Similar to the system found in Champs, the new system will take into account your wins and loss across all live friendlies, including house roles, to help you find a suitable opponent. So to be honest, thankfully now when I go do an objective, let's say I get an objective card, I got to score, do like 10 crosses, and I don't like crossing, I don't have to go and sweat this and force this against someone who's a good level. I can just go and do this in live foot friendlies. I think that's a very, very good thing. It's important for long-term health in the community that new and lower skill players are finding good matchups to play online for the first time. That is very true. The self-relegation issue was a big thing. This no relegation was the biggest problem of it. To reduce the potential for win form manipulation, only full match losses will count towards the way form is calculated. That's fine from a tactical perspective. You didn't hear it from me, but maybe if you're doing an objective, you don't need to win the game. Maybe give the game away. But the loss won't count towards your total win form. This one's short. Okay, so that's fine. SP, so removing season points, please refer to XP and FC24 from all game modes. We trialed this in FC24. FC25 will be exploring new ways to frequently deliver SP themed content through. Okay, so evolutions. Okay, so in last year's pitch notes we discussed evolutions could look differently. So before, if you had if the evolution was 82 rated, for example, but you have to have a maximum 85 sprint speed, you could only put players at 82 rated and under 85 sprint speed. But now, as long as the base hold, like if it's 85 rated and below, even if you have 86 sprint speed, you can still do the Evo, but you just won't upgrade the pace. Is what they're changing it to this year. It was obvious that whilst evolution were helping players have a great system, evolution is the best thing they've probably done in the last few years, because now the pay to win gap has reduced significantly. Now you can actually build your homegrown player, which I've always liked, and even less of a reason to spend FC points. You can almost get away with not spending anything, in fact, nowadays, and really compete if you're like an average player, even though team in the end of the day is all about gameplay. But to get the best players, it was difficult. Yes, you could win with a bronze team. You can get 20-0 with a gold team in Futchamps if you're good enough, but you couldn't get the best players. But now, as you can. There are a number of frustrations. Some players just missed out on evolution eligibility because of entry requirements. Training upgrades from one evolution next, or finding the perfect evolution for your favorite player was harder than we liked it to be. To address this, in S25, we're changing the way evolutions upgrade your players. In FC24, evolutions are applied equally across all players. For example, for evolution provided a plus 10 pace, it would apply to the same upgrade to the maximum 99. This was created tuning challenges. Okay, fine, whatever. In F25, select evolution boost will have a maximum limit. Applying this new system to the above example. So if you see a evolution gives you plus 10 pace upgrade up to maximum 90 pace, in the old system, this evolution would have had to have an entry requirement of a maximum 80 pace. Whereas this year, the new system will set the maximum as something much higher, or might not have been maximum at all. For example, if we set the maximum entry to 92 in the new system, you could compare attributes the following way. I mean, that's probably not the best way of explaining that, but anyway. So let's say, for example, in last year, for example, right? Let's say you had a starting pace before evolution was 80. Now, let's say the final pace in FC24 upgrade was 90. Okay, this is actually a very bad way of describing this. We'll come back to this. I don't know why they like that, but anyway, unless I'm reading it wrong. We believe this change will help reduce the pressure finding the right item. Okay, they effectively reduced the ceiling, so you can basically upgrade stats, the other stats. So let's say, for example, the way that I look at this anyway, let's say it's a 90 rated. So like you said, in the old system, Evolution had an entry requirement of a maximum of 80 pace. So if someone had 81 pace, you couldn't put them in. But this year, for example, maybe for example, if there was 83 pace, you can still put them in, but you don't upgrade the pace. If I understand, unless I'm completely wrong, and I probably could be here, that's the way that I understand it. But with the new system, we set the maximum to something much higher, or might not have maximum at all. Okay, so some of them might not have a maximum. Maybe there might be like a hard limit where maximum limits of, okay, that player can only have 85 sprint speed with the boost at the end of it or before. I don't know about that. Let's see. We believe this change. Okay, fine. FC, in addition, FC will change in the way you complete many evolutions to make sure that reduce the number of evolution challenges required in Futchamps. Thank the Lord. This was the worst. This is the whole reason why this whole relegation issue happened in the first place. Shifting away from Maynard's online gameplays to live friendlies and rush. You know what, EA? This is some of the best things I've ever read for the community and for changing the game. Kudos to you. Kudos to those that were in charge. And of course, the new icons that have been released, they've been leaked as well. And FC will be expanding your way to play your icons in career mode throughout the year. You'll be able to start your player career with a rotating selection of icons, like with Thierry Henry. And I believe those who pre-order the game will also get the Beckham, Zidane, and Nazario as well. Interesting for the career mode offline players. And then there's some heroes. Now, this is interesting. We know the understanding the value of players in your club is important. Whether you're planning a squad overhaul on the transfer market, comparing the value to your starting XI with your mates, or assessing what you've just packed. We want this information to be easily accessible to you. We're introducing the average transfer market price value per item in the 5th player view. This is very good. Look, a lot of players like us, we're hardcore players, right? But the average player, do you think they know what footbin is? They actually don't. They just play the game. This is actually very, very good. When you're looking at the player item, simply flick to the left and to the right. You'll find the price reference above the players, skill moves, and weak foot. Amazing. The average transfer market price, I presume this is over the period of time. Is this going to be done monthly or is this over the year? Because it'll be interesting. Because if it's over the year, it might not be the correct price. Because, like, for example, Van de Ven is 20k in the first day, but maybe he's going to be like 800 coins a month later. And maybe be purchased a lot more in the first month. So the weighting of that would be interesting. Because it might show the average maybe like in January being 7k, but really in actual fact it's 800 coins. Maybe it's doing an average for that month. Not too sure, but that'll be interesting. Traditionally, fans have used a number of community sites to get up-to-date transfer prices. We expect these sites to remain at the home of the most in the moment. Okay, fine. So Footbin, Foot.gg, Footwiz, they will still be there providing the prices. The aim of the transfer market price provided a convenient reference point for a wider range of fans versus living an exact minimum value. As a feature, we're looking to review the tuning of, okay, there'll be tuning. Okay, this is actually very, very good, especially for people that are like, you know, sometimes I'm in a game, I've got a computer right next to me always, right? But some people just play the game, they like to zone out, play downstairs. They don't want to go on their phone and check the prices, and people don't even know about Footbin and Footwiz and Footer. Trust me, you think they do, or Footer doesn't exist anymore, but they actually really they don't. It's worth keeping the transfer market highly volatile and so an hour by hour. So yes, so this is just a reference point. Don't rely on it. This is more for casual players. I would not recommend relying on this. Now this is some big changes. Oh my god, there's actually okay, not that much to go. I've literally just ordered my food, so hopefully I can finish this by the time my food comes. And then we get into some more gameplay stuff. So multiple versions of the pack since FC23, and it's possible to obtain multiple versions of the same player item in the same pack. Most commonly, you might have seen these with icons and heroes in Golazo or the Ultimate Team Birthday. Most recently, footies that might have also been in batch. Okay, fine. We want to clear up the confusion. Our aim is to create more opportunities to obtain diverse players, although there might be multiple special versions of each of a single player in packs. Once we added one or multiple special items, we remove. Wait, when we added one or multiple special items, we remove their base bronze, silver, gold from packs. There are obviously a number of ways. Wait, what? Okay, so if you got like a team of the week, the bronze, silver one was not there. If a player item featured as objective, their base version will remain in packs throughout the campaign. We want to clip. So our aim is to create more. Although there might be multiple special versions. Okay, let's go. In FC25, we're introducing a new program called Club Membership that will reward you for playing consecutive titles on the launch. Okay, F25 will get a number of exciting rewards throughout the season. Okay, Ultimate Team Plus Plus Evolution, which I think is like the Power Shot one for the pre-order. There might be another one. 2 club kits, not important. XL Tifa is not important. Ultimate Team Crest, not important. This is not important. The only thing really that's important here, apart from the visual things, is the Ultimate Team Evolution Plus Plus. That is pretty much it. You might get Founders rewards as well. So you have to be played before the 1st November 2023. Pre-season, so those who completed the Euro journey, you will receive an untradeable. Okay, fine. Maybe I misread this wrong. Hang on, let me double check this. Are they making any changes or not? Although there might be special versions of a single play in packs at once, when we added one or multiple special items, we removed their base. I'm not too sure. Maybe just clarifying something up. But that is basically it. I mean, I really wanted just to hone in on just the main things here. I mean, overall, I think this Champs probably one of the best changes that I've seen. Champs is definitely going to be a bit more sweaty. Like, this is the time to get your gameplay up. Champs and Rivals will be sweaty for the... If you're Division 2 and Champs, you're going to struggle, I would say. But it evens itself out because Champs will actually be still the casual game mode for you because the Elite Division will be very, very high level anyway. So actually Champs for like the first 10 games might be easy. It would just be the final 5 that would be more difficult. Overall, I think very, very good positive changes. The only thing I fear is just the qualifications. 3 out of 5, I think that's a bit too harsh. Maybe 3 out of 6 would be a bit more appropriate. That's what I'd probably change it to. But apart from that, let's just see what the rewards are. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And don't forget, if you want to get better at FC25, come to my Patreon series, patreon.com/NoGuys. In fact, you might need it now after they made Champs more difficult. But we've got videos on the basics. We've got videos on everything, the fundamentals. And we've got a guarantee system to help you improve in the game and teach you everything that no one else teaches you as well. If you don't get better after 1 month, we'll refund your money. It's a NoGuys guarantee. Link is down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. And of course, catch you next time. Peace out, guys. And don't forget as well to subscribe for more content. Hit notifications on. We're uploading every single day. And if I do get the game early, I'll be uploading some footage before anyone else. Peace.